Hey everyone, David here, and thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. And a couple of weeks ago, well, actually at the beginning of the year, at the end of last year, at the beginning of this year, I started a new podcast series. It's all about making the jump from an amateur mindset to a professional mindset. And that's all about, hey, we can only live, behave, and get to a certain point with an amateur mindset. And it's that professional mindset that, well, we have to transition to, that we have to become, that we have to have, and we have to, well, to succeed, we have to get there. With that being said, I've been working on it for quite a while now. So now I've got all of these put together. All these episodes are put together. And over the course of 2023, that's what I'm going to do. So on January 7th, last Saturday, the first true episode dropped. The first one was an introduction, is what we're going to do. Now the first episode dropped, and it's a two-parter, the first of a two-part. And there's going to be a lot of two-parters in this year's episodes. The first one is all about your mindset. It's all about moving from an amateur mindset to a professional mindset, why that's important. And I also talk about FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out, and the shiny object and instant gratification, all being part of the amateur mindset. Because if you're not willing to, well, let it go, step back, and you have to indulge now, again, where does that put you in the overall scheme of things, in the overall growth of yourself, your professionalism, and obviously your success that's supposed to come with that? Because again, you're leaving the amateur mindset behind, and you need to move into a more slower, more deliberate, more intent driven mindset of being a professional. And even professionals, and I'm not talking about I'm not talking about that because you're a professional, um, you're instantly in that mindset. No, I know a lot of professionals that still, and I'm talking that present themselves as professionals, and their vocation is a professional vocation, and they still are driven with the amateur mindset of that instant gratification, instant the fear of missing out, of I want it now and why isn't it here, kind of thing. It should have been here before I even thought of it. And that's not a good mindset going forward, because again, that doesn't create a leadership mindset. That doesn't create a professional, forward thinking, forward looking, over the horizon kind of individual. And that's the intent of this series, is to not necessarily to tell you what to do, but more of giving you the tools and the resources and say, hey, let's look at it this way. Let's work on this together, because we're going to be working on this together. See, this year is also a year for change, is a year of change for me. I'm about to embark on an accelerated program that at the end will hopefully get me another master's degree. You heard that right, a second master's degree. Because again, I have to challenge myself. I have to lead by example. And in doing that, I also have to let go of some of the amateur mindsets that I've had for all these years, because it's going to be a change of life. It's going to be an entire year of just different things that I've not done in such a very long time. And so with that being said, this is a great time to launch this, making the jump from amateur to professional. And the first thing we got to begin with is the mindset. So enjoy the first episode, dissect it, listen to it if you haven't already heard it. And then next week, part 2 drops. Right? And we'll talk more about that on the other side. But for right now, I do invite you to listen to the podcast on my website. And if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Stitcher, all the others by all means. But hey, don't hesitate to stop and at least take a listen and say, hey, you know what? Maybe you're already in that professional mindset, but it doesn't hurt to kind of revisit and kind of look at things from a different perspective, because I don't know everything and you don't know everything, but together, hey, we know a lot. So when we work together, let's get better together. And again, you're joining me on this journey. So let's make the best of it. Again, I welcome you to 2023. I'm Dave Guerra. Let's get started. Let's get going. We've got a lot to do. Let's make it happen.